Hey guys, I finally uploaded a review in June. Sorry it's been taking so long. As you can see by my Deadpool shirt, I was just about done finishing my Dark Phoenix review because it took me so long to finally see Dark Phoenix because, you know, I was wearing a Deadpool shirt. Deadpool is associated with the X-Men. Dark Phoenix is the final X-Men film, whatever. So, even though this video will go up first, I did film Dark Phoenix first. And I will explain in the video why I took so long to review it. But now, we're reviewing Toy Story 4. Now, Toy Story. It's a franchise I grew up with. I remember I had the first two on VHS. I also remember I was about 5 years old. I remember the marketing for when Toy Story 3 was happening. I remember I saw Toy Story 3 in the theater when it did come out, and a lot of people were like, this is one of those perfect trilogies. There's no way the fact that they can do another one. They made another one, and now we're going to talk about it. So, yeah. What is the story behind Toy Story 4? It's been a couple months since the events of Toy Story 3. The toys are with Bonnie now. But Woody feels like he's not included because he feels like the fact that Bonnie doesn't really play with him as much. However, when Bonnie ends up going to orientation for kindergarten, she creates a new toy. Forky, who's literally a sport that Woody ended up getting out of the trash can. And, Forky's having a bit of an existential crisis about whether or not he's actually a toy or he belongs in a garbage can. However, when Forky ends up jumping off of the RV, Woody has to go follow him, and eventually, due to some circumstances, they end up running into Bo Peep once again, who was absent from the third film. In fact, the first scene of the movie is literally a flashback to explain why Bo Peep wasn't in the third movie. Now, I don't know the actual reason, for real life reason as to why Bo Peep wasn't in Toy Story 3. My guess, the fact is that it was due to that incinerator scene at the end of Toy Story 3. Also, just want to get this out of the way real quick. Toy Story 3 was way darker than a lot of people made it out to be. It's like, oh yeah, it's like fun, Toy Story again. But no, it is a pretty much almost a one big giant metaphor to the Holocaust. Yeah, going that far. But yeah, the third one was really dark in some areas, but for the most part, it was a solid conclusion. I'm getting too ahead of myself, my bad. The reason being why Bo Peep wasn't in the third one was because she's made out of porcelain. And during the incinerator scene, she probably would have melted. That's probably the only... I think that is the reason why she wasn't included, but I digress. However, Woody ends up encountering this weird little doll named Gabby Gabby, voiced by Christina Hendricks. And she ends up taking Forky because she wants to be able to, you know, have a kid to play with. Because her voice box doesn't work and she wants Woody's, but Woody's isn't willing to give him up, so he teams up with Bo, and with Bo, Buzz, a couple of other people, and some new additions. We have Ducky and Bunny, played by Key and Peele, and Duke Kaboom, Canada's greatest stuntman, played by Keanu Reeves. The Keanu-sance is happening, folks. It's happening. But yeah, so how is the movie? Surprisingly enough, it's actually really good. And Josh Cooley, the film's director, this is his first film ever. And he did a great job on it. In fact, Toy Story 4 might actually be the standard of movies that are supposed to have a trilogy but have one bonus film. This might be the example of how to do it right, because for so many years people were like, why on earth did you make a fourth Indiana Jones film? Also, to all those people who were wondering, I don't hate Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. It is not my least favorite Indiana Jones film. I don't hate any of the Indiana Jones films, but my least favorite is probably Temple of Doom. But this is neither the time nor the place for that. They're probably thinking, why did you make Indiana Jones 4? Why did you make a Bourne Identity 4? Or why did you try to do that Bourne Legacy thing or whatever? But Toy Story, it was 3 movies. But the thing is, I do feel like the fact that Toy Story 3 is probably a better film because it did have this atmosphere of this is the end. This is the final movie. You can view Toy Story 4 as a nice little epilogue. It's sort of like Return of the King, which had everything going on. It had like and the entire ending was just a big, giant epilogue. you could sort of view Toy Story 4 as an epilogue. And as epilogues go, it's actually really good. It definitely surpassed my expectations, surprisingly enough. And, man, I didn't cry at the moments I was supposed to cry at because, I'm weird like that. But I do get the idea behind the emotions, and from what I've heard, this is actually going to be the last one that they're going to make. They're not going to make a Toy Story 5. They're not going to make any more. Even though they do have the potential to make more, they're not going to do it. And for the record, this will be spoiler-free, so I won't be giving anything away. So, yeah. The characters, they're still great as always. The animation is friggin' amazing. This has been released over 20 years. Sorry, I cannot talk today. It's amazing how the fact that the computer-generated effects have only... CGI and animated movies have only been around for about a little over 20 years. And man, the CG is amazing. But yeah, does the movie have problems? Well, absolutely. But it's very much, you gotta reach for those problems. I did really wish the fact that there was a little more interactions between Woody and Buzz. I really did miss that dynamic. I really feel like that this movie probably should have, instead of being one giant movie, should have been 3 separate shorts. One to be about Forky, one of them being at the carnival, and one being on the road trip. That's what I thought they were should have done. But hey, as a movie, it's actually really good. And also, the new characters, you think they would get annoying, like Ducky and Bunny, or Duke Kaboom, or Forky. But no, the characters that you think would be annoying are actually turned out to be really good characters. So, yeah, Toy Story 4 is a really solid film, surprisingly enough, and you should check it out. So I'm giving Toy Story 4 a 9 out of 10. So tune in next time where I finally review Dark Phoenix, and I might end up reviewing Child's Play. I'm going to have to check the schedule to see if I have any free time in order to see it, but if I do, I'll see it and give you a review of it. So until next time, stay gold.